Hey folks, Country Prepper here. As you guys know, I am quite the firebug, and I also like to promote small businesses here in the USA whenever possible. So today we're going to be taking a look at black and white fire starters. These are from Mr. Outdoorsy on Etsy, and I also have some extras for a giveaway. Now, I first came across these fire starters. I saw them on a few different channels, but Chris Stone had a video and he did a giveaway with a bunch of these. And so I was really intrigued by it after I saw it on his channel. I watched it a little closer and found out that he was on Etsy. And so I went and took a look, and the stuff looks really cool, so I wanted to give it a try. So I contacted him on Facebook and told him I liked his fire starters, and he asked me if I wanted to do a video on them. And so he sent me a bunch of different ones. This is one of the ones I'm going to give away, but I'll turn the camera around and show you a bunch of different ones. We're going to just kind of go through them. This is kind of a first impressions. I haven't opened any of them, and then we're going to do some burn tests. To start off with, I'll show you what all I have here. There are 3 different kinds of kits. He sent an extra one of this. So this is part of the giveaway. I'll set that aside. Then he sent a bunch of these Kindling Sticks. I'm going to open one of them, so 2 of them will go in the giveaway. And then he sent 3 extra packages of these fire chips. There are already some in this kit, which I'll open up and use those. So all 3 of those packages of fire chips will also be in the giveaway. One thing I want to note is these do come with safety and directions, and this one that is part of the giveaway has one of those, I can't remember the exact term for them, but like an infinite match or a fuel match. You can put lighter fluid in one of these, and you'll get tons of strikes out of this for a fire, getting a fire going. So really nice little addition there. There's one on the back of one of these other ones here, that one. So the first one I'm going to try are these Kindling Sticks, and these are packaged just in paper. Here, let's get out a knife. This is actually that M-Tech knife, one of the first ones I ever reviewed on this channel. It's gotten a lot of views, and it's still working for a $10 knife. That was a really good buy. But anyway, get these opened up. They're definitely packaged very well. Alright, so it looks like we have some little blocks of pine, and it does not smell like fat wood, but it smells like it has some type of like a pine oil or something like that impregnated into them. So I'm going to get out a little pan and a different knife and maybe do a little bit of feathering on these and see how they light up. So I'm not really trying to make a feather stick here. I'm just getting some shavings off of here, and we'll see how it lights with a ferro rod. I just got this cutting board down so I don't cut into my bench, but just out of curiosity, if a person did need it as a feather stick, how well does it work for carving? You can get some pretty fine stuff off of these. So one nice thing that I like about that is it does have a 90-degree corner on it, so you could get some really fine little shavings off of those corners to make it easier to light it with a ferro rod. Now I'm going to use the same ferro rod and striker, my Fontanelle number 8. That's what I use for a striker most of the time, and just see how this does. Got some smoke. Oh, there we go. That lit up pretty easy. Now the next question is, how does just the block light on fire? That lights up pretty easy just on the stick. Okay, so next up, let's go ahead and open one of these, see what's in this little pamphlet that he made out. Storage of product instructions, product guarantees, some warnings, safe for use in all those places. See if I can get close enough that you guys can read that. See the materials that are in this one. And there's a bunch of different tips on there. Definitely worth looking at when you first get this stuff. Throw some of this stuff aside. Now I'm assuming, I don't know what the butter knife is for, maybe we'll figure that out here in a minute. I'm assuming these, says Kindling Sticks, I'm just assuming these are a bigger version of these. And I would be right. So you got 6-inch Kindling Sticks and 4-inch Kindling Sticks. So just different options that he offers here. Set those aside. I'm really interested in some of this other stuff he has in here. It's a nice little touch that it does come with some extra matches in case you forget an ignition source. And this one, that's another big thing that I love right there. So this looks like it has a little jute twine wick on it. Pulls out of there if you want it to. The other one that came in this kit is the exact same thing, so I'll set that one aside and maybe I'll use it out on a trip video or something. Now I am going to take this out because I don't want plastic melting and burning and stinking up my garage, so we'll give that a try. Now I'm sure people are going to be curious if you can light this with a ferro rod, so I am going to fluff up the end of this. The wick is actually jute twine, so that's pretty cool. And just kind of separate these a little bit so you get a little more surface area, and then we'll see if I can just light it with a ferro rod. Absolutely. One thing I'm going to say is that thing is burning insanely hot. It's putting off a lot of smoke, but not terribly black smoke by any means. So I'm going to go ahead and put this outside for now and check on it a little bit later and see what kind of a burn time it gets. One thing I thought I should mention is it snowed a bunch here over the weekend, and the roof is starting to melt all the snow, and it's dripping right on that Firestarter, so it's doing pretty good. I have a feeling that is going to burn for a very long time, so I'm going to move on to the next thing. I'm going to go ahead and open this up, but the Kindling Sticks, I'm just assuming there are 8 of these 4-inch Kindling Sticks. You also have some matches, but I'm really interested in these right here. Now the one with the wick has a white lid on it, so this is just a little different than this. So once again, I'm going to remove it from the plastic cup because I don't want that melting in here. I don't think a person should, even you know, out in the woods, even, you know, out camping or whatever you would be doing, I don't think it's a good idea to light these in the plastic cups that they come in. I'm sure he does that to keep the cost down on them. If you did them in a metal tin, I mean, it'd take the price up considerably, you know, three maybe $4 for each one, so it does make a difference. But I would like to see that option just in a few of these different Firestarters, having it in a tin instead of plastic. But just a little, you know, a thought, an idea for anybody that you know, if he's interested in doing some different stuff. So these almost looks like an Oreo cookie in there. So we have some, looks like some charcoal, I think. That's what it kind of looks like to me. And there's some cotton in there, and yeah, a bunch of pine shavings, Maya dust, and what's it smell like here? Ooh, you can smell some, yeah, it smells like pine oil once again. So just tear off a little chunk of this. I don't think I need to light the whole thing for this, just a ignition test, because I'm sure it's going to burn very similar to one of these. Can I do it in one strike? There we go, one strike. That is cool. So yeah, good surface area, lots of combustible material to get your fire started, and I'm gonna go ahead and set this outside too and get a burn time on it. Alright, next, you can tell I'm having fun, can't you guys? So, no match on that one. Let's just get this opened up. Got some more little wood sticks. I'll open those up and see if they smell just like these sticks, and if they are, then I probably won't bother lighting this up. But these I'm interested in, Fire Fuzz. I kind of want to see what's inside of those, what they smell like, and that kind of thing. Maybe I could tell what's in them. You got a tin here, just a pop top lid that I'm struggling to open. There we go. It's just an empty tin, so you can put stuff in there. And I believe more matches. Once again, great idea. Just in case you lose your ignition source. I assume that's to put these in. And so we'll open these up, go ahead and put them in. So these little blocks look a little different than these kindling sticks that he offers. So yeah, it smells a lot like that pine oil again. There might be something else in there, I'm not sure. I'm sure he will leave a comment on this video, but let's dig into one of these, see how it looks on the inside, see if maybe it's fat wood, I'm not sure. But let's open one up, see what's in. I'm just going to go ahead and baton this, might shake the camera a little bit, see what happens. But yeah, it just looks like pine. Does not smell a lot like fat wood, maybe a little bit, I'm not sure. That one might have a little bit of terpene in it, but we'll see what happens. We'll shave some of that off and see how it probably is very comparative to one of these. This is not really the greatest idea to use something this small to make shavings with, but you could if you needed to, and I just like to do something like this to create surface area so it's easier to light. But I think these are more of a, what I would use them for anyway is once you get one of these going, if you just want to add to it, have some more kindling or you know, just a little bit bigger pieces to get your fire going if you're working with a lot of really wet stuff. These are just kind of an addition, I think. That's how I would use them anyway. What do you guys think? Is that kind of a good idea? Am I onto something there, or am I way off base? But anyway, we'll get a few more little shavings here. I'm not trying to do anything pretty. No super expert freaking fire sticks or feather sticks going on here. So, like I said, just getting a few shavings. The more I think about it, these would also be, they came in the same kit. These would also be a great fire extender for these. We'll see how one of these burns. I might just light this up using one of these, because these are going to catch a spark a little easier than even wood shavings. But if you know, like split this in half, or even if you just threw a handful of chips on top of, you know, one of these, I think that would be more than enough to get a good fire going. So this is not just a regular cotton ball. You can see it has a little drip of something on there for a fire extender, but the top half of it is nice and fluffy, so you got lots of surface area, very easy to light with a ferro rod. You can pull this apart a little bit and it makes it a lot easier to strike. It doesn't take a whole lot with a cotton ball. But that in there, I assume that's just some wax. It might have a little something else in there. Let's find out. So a little bit of an update on the two we already had burning. The one on the right was just that little chunk of about a third of one of those fire starters in the cup that I started, and it's burned out, so it lasted about 5 minutes, but it was only like a third of that fire starter. This one over here is just burning right along. It's been going for about 20 minutes now. I think if you cut that in half, it would burn a little hotter again. It would have more surface area to get a flame going. But so far so good, about 20 minutes in. At about 23 minutes in, it started to fizzle out, so I cut it open a little bit and it's going again. it still had plenty of embers on it, so once I cut it open, it just took right off again. So it looks like it's kind of burning out again, and I suppose that's probably about 24 minutes that I got out of that one. Alright, so on to the cotton fire starter with a little bit of wax on the bottom there. I'm going to strike this with a ferro rod and see how easy one of these wood chips lights up. Can I do it on the first strike again? Nope, not that time. There we go, second strike. Without breaking one of these open at all, I just want to see how well it takes to the flame. So, pretty good, I'd say. That was pretty quick. That went out on me, though. But like I was saying, I think if you got that cotton ball going, set a few of these little wood chips around it, I think you'd have better luck if you split them, like I did with that first one. You see the cotton ball keeps trying to go out. Let's relight it on the other side with the wax up and see how that does. So yeah, those took off pretty easy, pretty quick. And let's see, just a couple of wood chips with a bunch of shavings taken off of them. We'll see what kind of time that gets. Now the last thing that was in that kit was this little bundle of shavings and little pieces. You can tell that's fat wood right there. And so let's open it up, check it out, see how it smells, see what all, looks like there's some dust, a bunch of different kinds of stuff in there. So let's just kind of check it out. Just dump it out here on the cutting board. It's a lot of little chips of wood. Some of it does have some pine oil in it just by smell. There are some pieces of fat wood in here. And just a little bit of dust, a little bit of all kinds of stuff. So basically it's another little kindling bundle. So it's just a nice little added touch, nothing major. There's some different, like I said, little different stuff in here. So that would be really great for like your little camp stoves. The little biofuel stoves, the ones with the big hole in the side of them and has the chimney effect, kind of like a rocket stove type of thing. Those, you know, the little folding stoves. So that'd be a good option for one of those to, you know, just throw a little bit in there to get one of those started. But a lot of this stuff would work for those too. So now after saying that, I still have a little over 2/3 of this little cup of stuff. That little third that I pulled out of it burned for quite a few minutes. So I'm just kind of curious if this, how long it would take this to boil water. Okay, so I just have my little generic pocket bio stove, whatever you want to call it. Something that I reviewed, I think, like 3 years ago or something. And but it works good, and it's really cheap. So let's just kind of show you again how much is left of that. Didn't take very much out of it, but it burned for quite a while. So instead of water, let's see how fast it melts down some snow. Since it is winter out, I don't have to go clear to the house just to get some water. And let's just make sure that the matches that are coming with it are good matches. Absolutely. Toss that in there. Put that on top. I'm not going to put a lid on it or anything. Just want to see how well it would do just melting this snow down. And hopefully, I doubt it, but let's see if it brings it to a boil. It's not going to end up being very much water. So that is burning really hot. It's only been about 20 seconds while I adjusted the camera, and that snow is melted way down. Quick update, I forgot to put something underneath of that, so I put that pan under there. I just lifted the stove up with a pair of pliers after I took the cup off of there, of course. But all the snow is melted out of there, and that took less than 5 minutes. So let's just kind of see if it'll start boiling. So as you can see, that fire starter is nowhere near half done, and the water is starting to bubble up a little bit. So I'm pretty sure we can get a rolling boil. Now this cup, you know, it was full of snow, and so it melted down to about, I'd say, what, a third of a cup, somewhere in there. So it's not very much water. This kind of gives you an idea how far snow melts down into water. But it did do a really good job of melting it down, and it's starting to boil now. So I honestly think if you had one of those full fire starters to start off with, I think you could absolutely pack a cup like this full of snow and get it to a boil. Just for the fun of it, I put denatured alcohol in one of these because I don't have any lighter fluid around. You can put all kinds of different fuel sources in these, but if you've never seen one of these type of metal match, that's what it's called, metal match. Anyhow, you can put all kinds of different fuel in one of these, and then it has a little ferrocerium rod in this groove here, and that's how it works. So these are really handy for emergency situations. You see it has a little O-ring on there, so it holds the fuel in there for a good long time. So these are really great for emergency kits, and he does have those on his Etsy store if you need one. Also, one other thing that I would make note of is everything in here was packaged in such a way to keep it dry. Like these are sealed up in a plastic, and so you know nothing's going to get into those and get any moisture to them, anything like that. The you know, the cups are going to keep that stuff dry, but there was enough different stuff, oils and wax and whatnot in this that it's pretty much waterproof anyway. The Tinder sticks, Kindling sticks, whatever you want to call them, those are obviously going to be very waterproof because I smelled them, and I cut one open, and they do have some type of pine oil in it. That's one of the ingredients that it shows on his listings on Etsy. So just another nice whiff that smells good. Not quite as good as Fetwood, but it does smell good. So, and you can tell just kind of from the darkness of the wood that it's a type of oil in there, and you can feel it on your fingers if you rub it on your fingers. So very cool. A lot of different stuff and a lot of great options. One other thing, while I was watching the water boil, if you stand up all of these little fire chips, that whole package will fit into this tin. So that's really nice. And then the other stuff that came with it, this bit of stuff that was in the same package, and these, they would all fit in this tin. So that's really cool option that he sends this tin along with that kit in particular. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? I love playing with fire. So many of you are probably wondering by now, how do you enter the giveaway? Well, it's really simple. All you have to do is click on the link in the description. It's not an affiliate link or anything like that. Go over to his Etsy store and take a look and see what he has to offer, and come back here and leave a comment which one was your favorite, which one you'd like to have. So once again, that's this package along with a bunch of the fire chips and little kindling sticks, a couple packages of those. So I will announce that giveaway. It's going to be just a random comment generator type of thing, and I will announce the winner probably a week from now, next Tuesday's video. So that's all I got for you guys today. Definitely go check out his store. I will be taking these out on my next camping trip, whenever that is. Hopefully this weekend, but I'm not sure I'm going to get to stay the night. It just all depends on my wife's work schedule. She's at a new job, so that kind of thing. But I'm really hoping to get out to the woods with my friends from Tack and Brenda from AOK Forging and Adventures, Steve Brahms, or Willie, aka Willie, over at his channel, Steve Brahms, and BJ from Bearded CB82. I'll leave all their links down in the description box below too. You might catch me in one of their videos, so go check out their channels, give them a sub. And anyhow, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.